So, hilly Portugal is delivering once more. It almost makes you miss the monotonous of the flats earlier on. These hills. As soon as you're walking down a hill out of town, you're walking back up one to go up and over. 25 kilometers left, which generally wouldn't be too bad. I have actually 2 blisters on my left foot on the heel, but one of them is really tiny, and I couldn't, just not flexible enough in my old age to get close enough to it to get the needle through. So it has mold skin on it, trying to ease it a wee bit. But I think because I'd put that on, I maybe didn't put as much magnesium spray on it, and I'm feeling that angle today. Other foot, fine, not a problem. Bending and flexing. This one feels like I'm nearly slapping my foot on the ground. Last night was freezing. I don't know why, when I came on this pilgrimage, I didn't think for one moment I was going to need a sleeping bag. I've only carried a sleeping bag once, ever, and that was during a winter walk on the Française. But yeah, last night was freezing. I actually had all my clothes on and was still cold. Inside a thermal liner. So I'll have to keep that in mind if I come back at this time of year again. The days swelteringly hot, the nights Baltic cold. I'd actually put my towel over my lap and everything just to keep my bum warm, the back of my legs warm. So the back of my lower legs, they were kept warm anyway because they're sunburnt. So I was using the heat from those at times to warm up a wee bit. This sun's getting very, very bright. It is quite early. Left the albergue at 7:30, but then stopped in the. You have to return the key, and the other girl that was staying in the albergue yesterday, lovely French woman, she had already left, so I was leaving the key back, but I stopped and had coffee. I don't know if I was missing my coffee yesterday, even though I had loads of water. That's the other thing, I only have about half a bottle, 500 mils say, of water left. So I'm hoping there's somewhere today that I can get some water. Otherwise, could be in trouble. Problem with the sun shining in your eyes is you can't see any signage. I'm going to trust I'm going the right way until I'm sure I'm not. But yeah, on the final stretch to Fátima, and there's the view this morning. And that church tower just over there is where I was staying. Open point at the right thing. It's where I was staying last night. And this side of my face is more sunburnt than the other side of my face. It is the nature. On the Française, it's always the left hand side. You keep your water on the right to keep it out of the sunshine. Here, I need to keep it on the left really. So I haven't, as you can see. Right here. But normally I drink this water quite fast. So yeah, I'm going to get up here. hopefully there's a town on the way where we can get more water, maybe even a breakfast if somewhere does it. The wee cafe that I was at didn't seem to have a toaster or anything for tostadas. Wasn't much on display at all, to be honest. And the only food that was on display were lollipops for kids. So, yeah, onwards and upwards. That whole thing. They're going to make us go over that. I'm not too sure where Fatima is, but I'm pretty confident that it's going to be on the other side of that hill, which means the chances are I'm going to have to go up and over. Coming into a wee town here now, so once I get in, I'll find somewhere to sit down for a few minutes, take a wee break, and maybe check on a map, see what the lay of the land looks like. See if there's any clear indication of the topography. See how many hills there are. This could be the only one today. It could be the first of a few. Last one wasn't so bad. It did go up for quite a while. I don't know what height it goes to. None of the apps that I've found so far really help. I think there is one, a topography app, which I don't know how, but I set up a route for Suzanne the other day. I don't know how I got to it, but it worked for her to get to Santiago. But getting to Fatima could be a different matter. Yeah, I can see a high road and there's traffic on it, so I'm placing bets that might be the way that we're being directed. Hill. Okay. I don't know how well this shows up on camera, but like, it's nearly like going up a set of ladders. Parts of this you definitely could do with your hiking poles. There was a section there, I don't even think I got the camera right for it, but literally I was climbing up with my hands as well. There's the lady that shared a room with the other night, Suzanne. She has a leg brace. There's no way she could safely get up that. Some of the steps were quite high, and if you're tired at all, it's tough going. Not even at the top. I have about 100 ml of water left. Not good, but at least I know once I get to the top, I'm halfway to the next town where there's at least a Pingo Dolce in the town. So I'll be stopping there and refilling with water. Probably grabbing some bread to make a sandwich for lunch. At least once you get to the top, it's halfway to the next town, and I'm going to say fingers crossed, because you're never too sure whenever you're doing Caminos. When you think you've reached the top, you might not have reached the top. Hopefully it's a downhill from there. I can see the road from here where all the vehicles are going round, so I know roughly where we're aiming for, and it's quite high up. I don't know if you can make it out on what's the ridge line between those trees, but yeah, it's maybe another 100 feet up, 200 feet up, not sure. It's high anyway. So let's push on. At least this bit where I am at the moment is relatively smooth. The sun is sweltering. I don't know how anyone can do this in the summer months. It's hot now, and this is April. May, June, July, August. Your water would be cooked before you'd even made it this far. Though you can use your buffs, soak them in water and put them around your bottle, and it'll act like a cooler. Or buy a bottle cooler to put your bottle inside. But yeah, at least it's evening out for the time being. But you just know it's going to get rocky climb again in the very near future. I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but I think this is us at the top of the pass. And it is downhill, so to speak, from here. So I'm gonna stop here, have my water. I can see another hill. Maybe it's just not going to be as big as this one. I'm going to stop right here in the shade before I head down again. So that's all my water finished. I've had a few cereal bars as well, and I'm going to try and do this next 3.5k into the town. Meend, not sure what it's called, but where I know there's a grocery store. Still quite a while to get to Santiago, or to Fátima, to Fátima after this. I've been checking the maps to see the topography, and it's not really clear. You're having to switch between two different types of maps, and it's not actually giving you the increase, it's just sort of showing you the sides of mountains, not how high they are. So I'm just going to play it by ear. I'll go down and get fed, I'll rest again, and then try and make sure that I'm ready for the second half of the day. Then I can make the final push to Fatima, which is probably 18k, 18k. If it's relatively flat, then I might be able to do it quite quickly. If it's hills like this, on the flat I can go about 5-6 kilometers per hour. On the hills I'm down to 2-3 kilometers per hour, so it's really killing me. That was a hard workout. But yeah, I signed up for it. This is what I'm doing. And I can't check into my accommodation later on until about 4 o'clock, so what else am I going to be doing other than walking? Sitting drinking coffee all day? Pastel de nata? There's only so many of them you can really eat. Though I could drink more coffee. Pardon me. Yeah. Let's get on and do this and get it loaded up. Not good for tired legs and sore feet. This just keeps going. You can't lift your eyes really to see what's ahead of you. You're having to concentrate on what's directly in front of you so you don't slip or trip. A lot of concentration required for a prolonged period of time, and I would say we're maybe only a third of the way down, looking at what's in front of us down through the trees. Some of this is not easy, excuse me if I don't look at the camera, and I know the incline never shows up on cameras properly. So you're just gonna have to take my word for it. Another place where if you have sticks, definitely use them. Might have a wee sit down for a wee second. It also puts a lot of pressure on the front of your feet. Last couple of days there, especially going up to Monsanto, it was the back of your feet was getting it, so I ended up with blisters on my heel. And then again this morning going up that hill, the back of the heel was rubbing. Now it's the front of the foot. These shoes do have an extra wide toe box on them, but you're still pressing forward and trying to grip on, and you feel every stone. It's nice to be in the forest though. Bit of shelter from the sun. I'll tell you what, looking forward to getting to a supermarket. Hopefully they have a hot food takeaway bit, because I know I've that other hill to climb up out of here. All part of the fun. So, stopped for lunch there, Pingo Dolce, had 2 ice creams, half litre water. Used the rest to top up this. I've got orange juice now. I had protein shake. Didn't really want to make a sandwich. Not after the 2 ice creams and the protein shake anyway. So I've got that food on me in case I get hungry down the line. But I didn't want to leave it too much longer. It's what time is it? After 12. It's 12:30 now. And the reason for pushing on is that it's already 21 degrees. It's going to get hotter, and as it gets hotter, I'm going to get cooked. Don't really want to get burnt anymore, so I'm not taking this green top off. It's giving me some protection from the sun on my arms, even though I'm wearing a t-shirt, which could be nice, but I really don't like the feel of sun cream on my arms, making it all sweaty and sticky. So I'll have to keep this on, though I was able to wring water out of it. It's disgusting, I know, but that's what we stop was for, to try and dry things out a wee bit, and they'll keep going. I just seen another pilgrim go past. I don't know if it's the French girl that was staying where I was this morning. If it was, I don't know where she went to, because I thought she might have been finished by now. She says she walks slowly, but I didn't pass her that I could see on the route. But I'm back onto the path now, and I'm going to press on. So of course it's another uphill, so we'll see how this goes. It's not going to be an easy day. About 3 hours, maybe 4 hours of walking left. That's the theory anyway. If it's a lot of uphill, it could be a wee bit longer. But at least it means when I get to my accommodation, which I'll need to find when I get into town, that I don't have to wait around. It should be ready for me, and I can go straight in, get a shower, and collapse on the bed. I also have another blister on my right heel, about the same size as the one on the left heel, but I didn't actually feel it until I was putting my shoes back on again, and it felt enlarged, so it's not painful or anything. So while it's not painful, I'm not going to annoy it. I'm just going to let it be. I can't feel it at all. I can still feel the left one. It's the one that's been threaded and has moleskin on it. So I'll deal with this one tonight. I'll get some thread through it, drain it all out after I've had my shower. Actually transpired last night that the little scissors that I normally keep in my pack, they're not there. I don't know why. I can't remember whether they were taken off me, but at the same time, normally when I come over, because I carry this bag as hand luggage, I buy a wee pen knife. It doesn't have to be expensive, just something's going to cut fruit, cut bread, cut a bit of cloth and thread. So I haven't bought one this time, and I should have. And I needed one last night. Thankfully the French girl had one, but I might have to get a wee cheap pen knife tonight just to do the dressing, and then I can leave it behind because you'll not be allowed on the plane with it. So So that's the 10k marker. There are a couple of hours left. I'm gonna hopefully find somewhere a wee bit shaded up here and have another break, drink some more water, drink some more orange juice, have something else to eat to try and tide me over. At this point, I also feel I might need a couple of ibuprofen for my feet, which are feeling like bricks. They are sore, but the only option is to keep going at this point. It's not like there's anywhere to stop between here and Fátima, especially out in these woods along these wee old trails, forest trails. So yeah, I'm going to find a little shaded area in amongst these trees up ahead, have a wee bit of a rest before the final slog into town. That's the plan anyway.
Things will get better.
5 kilometers left. I'll be wholly honest, I didn't think I was going to get this far. Feet are killing. It's hot. But we're nearly there. It's always the last 10k is the longest 10k. And the last 5 is always the longest 5. But we'll get there. There's a wee bit of a breeze in the air now. Trying to keep cool without keeping myself too exposed to the sunshine. Don't mind a bit of colour, but I don't want burnt. The legs are sore from it. But some of these trees, as the sun moves out to the west, it's giving a wee bit of dappled shade, so makes a difference. Not long left. To 5 on a Friday is probably not the best time to be getting into a city or a large town, but it is what it is. So, one of the events that's on tonight is a candlelit procession. So I've got a candle. I'm going to go and join. I think it starts at 9:30, so it's about 15 minutes. I'm going to see if there's many people there. I'm guessing it's the same sort of thing that happens in Lourdes. So over a period of time, candlelight's passed around and it all builds up. But sure, it's all an experience. Let's go and see. So this building that's lit up, which has a lot of people around it, is supposedly where the three kids received the apparition of the Virgin Mary.
Caros peregrinos de língua portuguesa, sede bem-vindos a este lugar onde Nossa Senhora nos mostra o imenso amor de Deus pela humanidade. Hoje é a sexta-feira da segunda semana da Páscoa.
Ojcze nasz, któryś jest w niebie, święć się imię Twoje, przyjdź królestwo Twoje, bądź wola.
So although there are people that have their candles already lit, this is actually the part where they use the candle on the altar and then they take a light from it and share it out amongst the congregation. Not sure why some people have already lit theirs.
Em procissão seguimos lado a lado com irmãos e irmãs que partilham conosco a mesma vontade de seguir o Senhor Jesus. Deixamos-nos guiar pela cruz de Cristo e levamos conosco a imagem da Mãe de Deus, auxílio e proteção do povo de Deus.